So the question is, does the ego and the Panj, chor, the five evils, need to be destroyed, or do they just need to be contained? Now, a lot of the times you hear people saying that the five evils are useful, that you need a little bit of anger in your life, you need a bit of lust in your life, you need a little bit of greed, and you need a little bit of ego and pride, and you need a little bit of attachment in your life. Now, chances are the reason people are saying that is because they haven't experienced a state of complete release from all of these things, or they quite like having a little bit of lust, having a little bit of anger, so they use it to justify this idea. Now, without studying the whole of Gurbani and the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, it's very hard to say whether one answer is definitely right or the other. But certainly we can see from Guru Granth Sahib Ji that there have been very clear mentions of killing the five. So one shabad that comes to mind is Jin mil mare panch sur bir aso kaun balire. Gurbani talks about the five as being five warriors, but who has killed all those five? Jin mil mare. Who has gone and actually killed those five warriors? Aso kaun balire. Show me that kind of warrior that has killed the five. As well, Gurbani uses the phrase man mare, to kill the mind. So we can say that sometimes Gurbani is just using words poetically, but certainly there are certain words that make it very clear that there is no room for the Panj, chor once you get to the fully enlightened state. Yes, in our everyday mind, we are always going to have them with us, but that isn't to say that the Brahmgyanis, the absolute supreme beings, have a little bit of anger in them or they have a little bit of lust in them. They may be able to use sexual energy. They may be able to use the energy of power, of josh, of anger, but it doesn't mean that they are angry, that they're in an agitated, angry state, or that they're in a lustful state. And I think this is where people get quite confused. They think, well, if you're living in a worldly life, then surely you need to have a little bit of lust in order to procreate and create new life and to have children. But in reality, there is a difference between being lustful and just having a healthy sexual relationship with a married partner. And I think that's where people are getting quite confused. And my personal understanding is that we do need to completely kill all five and completely get rid of them. Now, whether those things completely leave our body or whether they keep following us is not what is being asked here. The question is, do we need to try to hold on to them? And I think the answer is that we shouldn't be trying to hold on to any of them, that there is no room for them in the enlightened state. Because in order for you to hold on to them, there still has to be a you. They still have something to cling on to. But if you yourself completely disappear, then there is nothing for them to hold on to. So they might still exist in the body, but then you don't identify with any of those things. So I don't believe that the goal of the Gursikh is to just suppress. Because again, when we try and suppress these things, then that actually has an adverse effect. That also makes these things worse, and they make these kind of things boil up and bubble up in later life if we've just continually suppressed them. I think what we're talking about is neither suppressing nor containing it in somehow. It's completely releasing yourself and letting yourself go from them.